Hey there, Soul Shines. It's Michelle here, and I'm inviting you to wake up and live. So today, before I get into my conversation about clear vision, I am going to share with you a little bit about why I'm not doing live video, why I like to do live videos, and what's going on. Okay, I like to do live videos for a couple of reasons. One, I really love interacting with people when they come on. Two is because it's just a shot. I just get on, whatever comes out, comes out. I don't edit, I just put it up there, we go. It's really nice because nobody expects a live video to be edited, right? Well, that saves me time. Here I am, YouTube being on the internet means that sometimes the internet connection isn't all that wonderful. So, I tried a couple times and sat in, what did my son call that? The eternal flame of doom or something like that. Where it's just sitting there waiting, you're going live. And 5 minutes later, you're still going live. But it actually doesn't come up. Oh, so frustrating. And so I was like, okay, well, I've tried doing that twice. What would be the next solution? And the thought was, come do a recording and just upload it. Don't have to worry about, that eternal flame of doom. Eternal, is that what it's called? I don't know what it's called. I have to ask my son. So I'm doing this kind of like a YouTube live in that I'm just going to say it. If it comes out, it comes out. I have no intention of going back and editing. The one thing we'll be missing is the little chat from the side. And that means if there's interruptions from my kids, so be it. That's just the way it is. Ooh, but I could do fun things like this. Go, wah, 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 wah. Okay, sorry. Some options that I don't normally have. Okay, so clear vision. Here's the thing about manifesting. You have to know what you want. You don't have to know how it comes about, but you have to know what you want. And when you don't know what you want, the universe can't respond. A really interesting example of this is kind of a mixed example. It's really weird. So one of the things that I would like in the area I'm focusing my life on, just getting clear about what I want and cleaning up my home in that area and doing healing in that area if it comes up. The area is my personal development and growth. One of the things that I want in this, or a couple of things that I want in this area of my life, have to do with my business. One of the areas that I want to grow and learn in is my ability to market. I'm an incredibly gifted healer. It took me a long time to acknowledge that. It took me even longer to be willing to come out and say, hey, I am Michelle the Miracle Maker. I make miracles happen. I mean, when we do a healing session, we go as fast as we can to the very root of the cause of the problem and clear it out. And if there's ancestral energy, we just take care of that ancestral energy. If there's, there's so much we do with it. It's amazing. And it's fast and it's great. And it just, people's lives change like that. Okay, so how do I market that? I don't know yet. But that's one of the areas that I wanted to learn. Okay, so I actually just recently, today, did kind of a little mini session with somebody, and we talked about working together further. And here's where things get kind of interesting. For one, the thing that he does in his business that he's also getting clear on, he's relaunching it, and the thing that he does is help healers package their work and put it in a way that people can tell what they're doing and that they want that. They want that healing. And so here he is, this incredible answer to my prayers. I also is an answer to his prayers with the healing work I do. And so we're in discussion on how that's going to work and look forward. But it's I put out there that I want to learn marketing and how to market myself. Not just marketing, but marketing for me as an individual, as a healer. There's a lot of marketing advice out there, but those marketing advices are for like actual products. But when you're a healer, it's not an actual product. I mean, no session even looks the same. Like, it's kind of hard. And so I put it out there that that's what I wanted, and he showed up and as a possible solution, and I'm excited about that. Super excited about that. And here's where a lack of clarity in an example can work. He wants to know what I'm doing, right? I mean, like, I walked him through a little session so he knows that I'm really powerful at what I do. But then it's like, I don't know. I don't really, like, it becomes all mushy. I don't really know. Like, I kind of have a price idea, but it's really hard to set a price because I don't know if people would pay it, or, I mean, like, there's a lot of iffiness around my pricing. There's a lot of iffiness about, like, I have one package idea that, and it's really easy for me to enroll people in that package because I'm like, look, we do 13 weeks. Each week, we focus on a different area of your home and a different area of your life. You're going to get clarity in what you want in that area of your life. We're going to do some healing work. If you work one-on-one with me, you're going to do a lot of healing work, and it's going to be awesome. And you're going to do some things in your home to help clean up your energy in your home. So I have this package, and I have like 3 options. I'm working on an email version, I have a group version, and I have one-on-one version. So I have that. But that's only part of the kind of work that I want to do. Because I have this other work that's about helping people unlock their gifts and unlock who they are and shining. It is probably geared towards healers, but that's where I get kind of like mushy, and when it's like, I knew and he knew that he's not aligned for my 13-week program. It's just not what he needs in his life right now. But this other stuff that I do probably could help him, and he definitely could help me package it. But when I get in there, I can confidently talk about one thing, but when I talk about this, because I don't have a clear vision of what it is, it comes out all mushy. He doesn't understand what I'm saying. I don't know how to engage him in it, and it just does nothing. The only reason that this one particular situation is going forward is because he knows that what he does in his work would be perfect to help me get the clarity I'm lacking, and move that forward and change things in myself to make that happen. And he experienced my healing, so he knows that I'm really powerful, and that could help him do a lot more work for him and his ancestors and all that kind of stuff. So here's this situation. It's very mushy, and that same kind of thing happens when we're manifesting. We're like, I want money. And the universe is like, here's a penny. And I did that. I did some energy work with somebody else, and she's like, I want money in my hand. And my instinct was to pull a penny out and put in her hand. And I'm like, there you go. That's truly what it is. You didn't tell me how much money you want in your hand. I've got a penny. You have money in your hand. And that's kind of what the universe is going. Like, I want some things in my life, but I haven't given it any clarity. Sometimes putting clarity on it is really hard, especially in the beginning. Like, putting clarity on the kind of guy I want, that's really hard in the beginning. It's gotten a lot easier, and part of that has to do with just believing that I can deserve that kind of guy, believing that kind of guy would like me. I mean, like, so there's a lot of things in the way. But I could start by having certain qualities that I knew that I wanted, because I had experienced some negative experience with somebody, and so I'm like, I don't want that, so what do I want instead? And so I started building clarity, and so I started getting a little bit, I actually started having better dates. Not all of the guys I dated were in this higher caliber, but I was starting to get there. Some of the other guys helped me to clear some stuff out, because it was like, oh wow, don't want that, and gave me another thing. Oh, so this is what I want. And every time you have something that you don't want, some people are like, don't talk about what you don't want. Well, I think that there are times to talk about what you don't want. And that's when you're trying to get clarity. And you're like, I don't want to be broke. Okay, that's when you've said that. Awesome. Now, what do you want instead? If you don't want that, then what do you want? And then once you've decided what you want, you focus on it and you build it and you get it clear. And the more clear you can get it and still feel good about it, the better. If you start building clarity and it doesn't feel good and it's stuff, you've got to deal with the not feeling good stuff. Whether that's because you're trying to create something that's not aligned with your soul, or whether you're have some blocks, undeserving, unworthy kind of feelings that are keeping you from having that. So you start out, I don't want this, so I want this instead. And then you build the clarity, and as long as it still feels good and amazing, keep building it, keep getting clear. You can get as clear as you want. You could get down to details of dates and stuff as long as it still feels good in you, and as long as you're okay if it doesn't happen. That's another key, is you've got to have it so clear that you just are so peaceful about it. Like, this is going to be the most amazing thing. I'm so glad I'm living this way. I'm so glad I experienced this. I'm so glad I have this. And if it doesn't happen, that's okay too. That's really important, that you've got to be okay with it not happening as well as okay with it happening. And so getting clarity. If I would have had a clear picture on my call today about what kind of services I offer for people who are not aligned with my home service, packaging this is the kind of a life that you will have if you work with me. Here's some of the things that we can do. If I would have had a clear picture to give him, then he would have been able to respond to that and be like, yes, I want that, or no, that's not the place I want to take my life, so thank you. And we would have had that clear decision made. Okay? If I have that clear decision with the universe, then the universe can be like, yes, you get this, and give it to me, and it's pretty amazing. Okay. And apparently technology is still my friend, because my image appears to be frozen on the computer. Awesome. It's very clear image though, right? So one of the things that I'm doing in my life, and this is one of the things that I suggest, pick an area of your life and spend a week getting clear about it. What don't you want in that area of your life? What do you want in that area of your life? And how can you be more clear about it? And I like to talk about good, better, and best here. Why is that not? Maybe if I go like this, yeah. Hopefully that's recording. I hope at least it's recording the sound. So good, better, and best. You can have a good desire, and this is where you're like, I don't want this, so I do want this. And you just write about it, and you're like, I think I'd like to experience this. And so you write about it. You put it up on your vision board, you make a recording of it, and you listen to it, and that's a good way. A better way is to spend some time meditating, thinking about that thing that you want and kind of getting a little more clear, trying to listen to what your soul has to say, and maybe channeling a little bit of your soul into what you want. And then the best way is when you can completely just channel it from your soul with nothing else in the way, and that's one of my favorite things to do. And I channel what I want, and I'm surprised at some of the things that I want that I didn't realize that I wanted. When I think about it, I realize, oh yeah, I really do want that. One of them, my dad has not been a part of my life actively since I was 12. And especially not since he got married when I was 16. And I've seen him less than 10 times in the last 30 years. And for a while, I just wanted to know that he was alive. I was just like, that's what I want. About once a year, twice a year, I just want to have some indication that he's still alive. So somebody talked about him, told me what he was doing one time. And then a few months later, he actually a friend requested me. I was like, wow, that's a way to find out he's still alive. That's a way for me to check in once in a while. And that's kind of what it is. Every few months, it'd pop up on my thing, making a comment. And I'm like, oh, my dad's still alive. And I'd move on. when I wrote my manifesting, soul proclamation, when I wrote my proclamation for my relationships, one of the things that surprised me is that I allow my dad back in my life as much as he will obey my boundaries, like respect my boundaries. And I realized that, yeah, I do want my dad to be more a part of my life again. I do have some clear boundaries that have to be there. There are certain things he's not allowed to say. There are certain subjects we're not allowed to talk about. There's certain behavior that is not allowed. And as long as he can respect those, I want him as part of my life. I did not know that I wanted that until I wrote it. And so these are some of the things that you can do to get clarity. And you want to have that clarity so that you can create it, what you want, so that you can receive what you want, so that you can say, hey, universe, this is what I want. This is what I want my life to look at. And then the universe can give it to you. And the universe and God and the angels and all that kind of stuff, they'll line things up for you to either put that stuff in your experience or to trigger you so that you go inside and you clear out the stuff that's in the way of it. As soon as that's out of the way, all of a sudden magic happens and that stuff comes to you. And so when you get your clear vision, that's when you can start attracting it, or attracting the stuff that's in the way. So if you start getting some yucky feelings, or you start getting some resistance of some kind, or things seems like they're trying to take you off course, that's when you check in and you see if there's some kind of a limiting belief with, some energy way back when, some stuff that you've got to heal that is in the way. Or when you tune in, is it really because you actually don't actually want it? And this is your soul's way of saying, hey, we don't actually want that. We want you to get a little more clear about what you do want. And so those are some of the things that happen, but you have to know where you're going in order for that stuff to come up. You can, the Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland, he put it very plainly. I can't quote him exactly, but it was Alice was wanting directions, and he's like, well, where do you want to go? And she's like, I don't know. And then he's like, well, then pick any direction, because it doesn't matter. And that's how life is. If you don't know where you want to go, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter where you go, what choices you make, because you're just going to get somewhere. One of my favorite quotes is, an arrow shot without a mark always hits its target. No, an arrow shot without a target always hits its mark. There we go. I was like, wait, reverse that. So if you aim an arrow and you're not aiming at a target, you're always going to land it perfectly. Always. You have to, because you didn't have a target. If you aim for a target and you miss, then you recalibrate and you aim again. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to let your soul shine big, bright, light, and beautiful. Be the incredible you that you were designed to be. And I will see you guys next time.